Hey, everybody. Hey, welcome to the latest episode of Movies Merica. Spoiler warning. Welcome to my fellow movie maniacs. Yes, there's one of them right there. And my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. How y'all doing out there in movie land? So I am your humble host, Van Ebert, as regular viewers to the Movies Merica spoiler warning world may know here, okay? So I'm like, but I want you to become like Norm from Cheers, okay? I want you to come into Movies Merica spoiler warning, and I want to be able to yell Norm, and then Cliff walks in after him. I want this to be the Movies Merica spoiler warning, Cheers bar, where you come in after a tough day, working for the man, working in the salt mines or the coal mine, getting a black lung. And you just want to unwind. I mean, it's Thursday nights, okay? And it's pre-Friday. It's time to relax, ease your mind, okay? Kick back, crash back in your beanbag chair, your futon, all your dudes, all your bros or whatever, So, but yeah, hey, just watch this however you want to watch it. And so this episode of Movies Merica Spoiler Warning by fan demand, particularly my boy Trevor, he requested that I do a throwback review to Robin Hood, Russell Crowe's Robin Hood from 2010. So, but not the theatrical version. Okay, let me stress that. I cannot stress that enough. Okay, it needs to be the unrated director's cut. Okay, so Ridley Scott's unrated director's cut, the way that he intended it to be seen. But the big wigs, at Universal were like, nope, can't do it. Okay, we want your movie to suck, and we want it to make about $3 at the box office, which is what it made. Hence, no sequel. Okay, all right. So it's a damn shame. But before I get too far down the Robin Hood rabbit trail, let's get this party started.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Most definitely. All right. So, hey, welcome everybody to this episode again here. So, and again, particularly welcome to my fellow movie maniacs. Yes. Again, there's one of them right there. Hey, we got beer drinking Trev. He's our first contestant here in the live chat. So, and that just reminds me that I want to see as many people get into the live chat as possible. Okay, get in there and communicate with me. All right. So, but yeah, no, Trev, we start right at 6 Central, man. I'll tell you, the show must go on time. So at least in my world. But yeah, Trev, I will. You got plenty of opportunity to, chime in on Robin Hood, okay? Because this episode is for you, my man. It's for you, okay, and everybody else as well, okay? But you're the one who requested it. Okay, so all right, let's just get right into Robin Hood. So let's get this out of here. Okay. So here we have our man Russell Crowe, and I'm just going to go through the movie here. I'm going to miss some parts, I'm sure, probably. But we're going to get this party started with the Robin Hood. And so this Robin Hood movie, it actually has a more complicated plot than, your average Robin Hood movie, okay? So Ridley Scott is one of those directors when he takes something on, the plot is going to be very intricate, okay? And so that's my that's my disclaimer as far as if there's something that I miss in the plot, okay. But really, the reason that I do the synopsis is not really just to rehash it, because most people that are watching this right now, you've seen the movie, okay? But I just do that so that I give you a chance to chime in on the live chat, and you can live chat through Rumble, you can live chat through YouTube, okay? If I hear from you in YouTube, I can actually even put your live chat comment on the screen, okay? And yeah, so extra perk of being on YouTube. In Rumble, definitely I'll still read your live chat even though I can't display it on screen. It's all good. But yeah, Trevor is emphasizing the director's cut. Yep. So the director's cut is the version you have to watch. You have to watch the unrated director's cut because it's like an entirely different movie than the theatrical version. The theatrical version is like, going to, getting like steak tacos at Taco Bell. And then the unrated director's cut is like going, to like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or something like that and get yourself a big old juicy ribeye. I mean, just worlds different. Okay. But yeah, so let's get further into Robin Hood. So it starts out where Robin Hood is still on crusade. He's with his brothers on crusade with King Richard the Lionheart. And they are on their way back to England, not quite back to England quite yet, okay? And they are, King Richard the Lionheart, he's broke, okay? I guess he spent all his money and all his Bitcoin, and all his troops and equipment and that kind of thing, probably bribing some people here or there. And so he needs funds for the road, okay? He needs road rubles to get back to England. And so they are sacking the castle, okay, so to speak, Princess Bride style, and sacking the castle and trying to get gold and jewels and all that stuff so they can pay for their way back to England. And so they're attacking this castle in France, and so that gives everyone, in the movie audience, a chance to see that, hey, Russell, he's a crusader, and he's got his buddies, he's got his bros there as well, who eventually become his merry men. And then got King Richard the Lionheart, and he's there fighting, leading his troops, and then lo and behold, though, King Richard the Lionheart actually gets killed, okay, by some lowly servant that works in the French castle that they're sacking. Right? It looks like he's like he's some kind of like servant. I don't know, handles the bedpans or something. I don't know. And so he just takes like one shot with an arrow, with a bow and arrow, and he happens to be this lowly servant that happens to kill King Richard the Lionheart. And yeah, Trevor's like, a shout out to that gate explosion scene. Yeah, that was badass because they go in there. I guess they put like bags of oil on the gates there at the castle, and then they basically shoot flaming arrows at it. And it's pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of like the battle at Helm's Deep when they rush through there and they blow up that part of Helm's Deep there. So go through the sewer system or something like that. Okay. But yeah, so they sack the castle, but not before King Richard the Lionheart is taken out by the bedpan man. And so then the King's Guard, his entourage, they take the crown and they go off. They're trekking through the forest to take the crown back to England. And before this scene, they've introduced us to Mark Strong, who plays Godfrey, and so Godfrey is like the bad guy, the main antagonist, and he's secretly working for the King of France. And I guess I don't know what maybe they explained it in the movie, but I just didn't really get like what his rub was with England and that. Well, no, okay. Here's what it was. Is okay. So Godfrey's a bad guy, and he's good buddies with Prince John, who you'll meet later on in the movie, played by Oscar Isaac. And so I think they insinuate that Prince John, whose brother is King Richard the Lionheart, who just got killed in this movie, they insinuate that Prince John is friends with Godfrey and that he hired Godfrey to go make sure his brother dies, making Prince John soon to be King John, right? And so they introduced us to Godfrey at that point, okay? And then fast forward to King Richard the Lionheart's entourage. They're going through the forest to return the crown to England. and then they get ambushed. Okay, well, so so after they get ambushed and everyone's killed, one of the people in King Richard's entourage is a guy named Robert Locksley, and it looks like they make him out. He makes him look like his second-hand man. Okay, and he gets killed along with everybody else. Okay, and so but he's still alive when all of a sudden Robin Hood, or Robin Longstrider, Robin Longstride, that's what Russell Crowe's name is before he's really termed Robin Hood later in the movie, but he goes by Robin Longstride at this part of the movie. And Robin Longstride and his merry men happen upon the ambushers after they've ambushed the entourage, and they chase them away. They kill them, and most of them. But Mark Strong is Godfrey. He rides off, but not before Robin Longstride, Russell Crowe, shoots at him and hits him in the cheek with an arrow, and scars him up pretty good. Okay, so yeah, he's not going to be in a cover of Sherwood GQ anytime soon. Okay, it's not looking too good. And again, they don't have Hollywood plastic surgeons, back in jolly old England, so he's screwed. Okay, so people are going to be swiping left on him quite a bit on Sherwood Tinder. I think that's what is it, left or right? I don't know. So then Robin Hood, he happens upon this Robert Locksley guy. He isn't quite dead yet. And Robert Locksley's like, yeah, we were returning the crown to England, and the crown is over there. Okay. And so then we get, and then Robert Locksley's like, here's the sword that I've been using. Would you return it to my father? Okay. Because he knows he's dead, and he can't return it himself. And so he says, to Robin Hood, it's like, hey, I need you to go to Sherwood to Nottingham, I should say, and return the sword to my father. Robin Hood, being the stand-up dude that he is, going to share, no problem. Okay, you wouldn't happen to have like a really hot wife there I can beat up, right? So we'll get to that later on. So Robert Locksley, he expires. Okay, and Robin Hood, he's got the crown, he's got the sword, he's got his job cut out for him. Okay, and so they trek off to the ship, okay, to meet the ship, because now they got to pose as the king's entourage, as if they're returning the crown. Okay, let me check out live chat here. That arrow shot, a la King Leonidas. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, call back to 300. So yep, that's yeah, it was good. Yeah, because he takes out Xerxes. That's right. Yeah, Xerxes in 300. So yes, nice callback there, Trevor. And so then, Robin Hood and his merry men, they board this ship to England to return the crown. And so then they get to England, okay, and they meet up with the Queen and Prince John and his mistress, okay, and they return the crown. And apparently they don't know, like the royal family doesn't know what Robert Locksley or any of his entourage look like, I guess, so they just like, oh, hey, thanks, dude, for the crown. Okay. And then Prince John, now King John, because he just got crowned with the crown, right? He's like, hey, you're a stand-up guy. Thanks for returning the crown. You're Robert Locksley. Oh, hey, well, your old man owes me taxes. So this ring I was going to give you, for that, every kiss begins with K, and we give out jewelry to show how much we care. I was going to give you this ring, but your dad owes his taxes, so psych. Okay, you're not getting that ring at all. Okay, and so that's what we've got going on with that so far. And then when he's there returning the crown, William Hurt, Oscar winner William Hurt, plays like William Archer, I believe, and William Archer introduces himself to Robert Locksley, okay, and so, hey, I know your dad, okay, I'll give him my best, we're tight, we're bros, okay, from back in the day, and I know, Robin is like, oh yeah, no problem, I'll do that, I'm gonna hook you up there, my man. Let's check out live chat here. So we've got Trevor with that's my gripe. How does nobody remember this guy? Like, even his village. Like, how pathetic was he? Yeah, Exactly. Apparently, like, Robert Loxley, if I'm assuming correctly, as far as who you're referring to. Yeah, it's like, I guess they didn't have Sherwood Twitter or Sherwood Facebook. I mean, or maybe if they did, like, Robert Loxley wasn't putting up like, hey, here's this barbecue I just made, or hey, here's my grandkids. He wasn't putting up wasn't real social. So I guess maybe nobody knew who he was. So, but. Yeah, but he wasn't very well known, so that's why nobody knows what the hell he looks like. He must have been like on Crusade quite a long time, because this William Archer guy, played by William Hurt, you would think that he knows what Robert Loxley looks like if he knows his dad. I don't know, but maybe it's a plot hole there. So, alrighty then. Okay, so hey, let me do this here, just mix things up here, so kind of keep things going on. Let me tell you all about, we have got our tdpn.locals.com. Okay, and the reason I mention that is because that is our website where we have all our content. Okay, we've got blogs, we've got comments, we've got audio, music, I should say. We got videos out there. It's all about like movies on my part. I have like movies and entertainment blogs out there that I try to get out there, and try to make it interesting so it captivates your eyeballs and your brain while you're reading them. And then we have like music related blogs and articles and hot button topics of the day, so, and then we've got the hot news items of the day, kind of related items out there. Again, content you're not going to see anywhere else. And so, yeah, you just got to go out to tdpn.locals.com for that. And then right now, if you go out there and you enter in promo code TDPN, you're going to get 1 month free of tdpn.locals.com premium membership. Okay, because there are certain things that you can't see on there unless you're a member. Okay, and you can be a member for as low as $3 a month. Okay, so $3, that's like a box of Hot Pockets. It's nothing. It's nothing, right? It's probably, it's right there. It's very, very cheap. I mean, even I'll spend $3, and I'm a cheapskate. Okay, so, but yeah, and then also I'm going to show you something here. I want to show you a premium perk of being seeing our website there. So I'm going to show you this, and okay, try to keep you guessing here. Okay, so let's do this. Alrighty, in the stream, there we go. Okay, gotcha. So this is what I call Movies Merica Mad Libs. Okay, and this is a premium member benefit where I am writing a movie script. Okay, it's kind of a fun little playful movie script. All right, and when I say I should actually say that we are. Okay, so not just me, you are as well if you're a premium member at tdpn.locals.com. And so here we've got scene 1 of our movie script. Okay. And so then I'm basically writing the first few lines of this script here, okay? And then I'm also, so when we're writing a movie script, right, you got to have characters, right? Okay. And so then let me do this here since I'm blind, okay? I'm just going to make this much bigger. So now it's probably like right in your face. You're probably like, it's like, it's too big there, Van. Yeah, okay. I'm going to, that's it. I'm going to let that go. Okay, so right here we just pretty much go over right here, how much we appreciate our TDPN locals members, and I just described right here, what I just told you about how you have to be a premium member to take part in this, and so this is a script where I'm writing the first few lines, and then you as TDPN.locals.com members are going to be able to write the next lines, okay? And we've got our 3 characters here. And so here we got movie, Mad Libs, script 1, scene 1, fade in, interior, Old Boondocks, Irish pub, daytime, okay? And our first character is Holster McKenzie, is a 54-year-old, hard as nails, blabbermouth, balding hitman who carries weaponry and a spare tire from too many Guinnesses and has a scar from a hit gone wrong. He may look like a balding, well-armed weeble wobble with a cheap blazer on, but he's got unnatural old man strength and an even stronger, filthy wit worthy of 10 bars of soap in the mouth. Right now, he's making sweet love to a Bushmills while Steely Dan's Hey 19 plays in the background. And then our next character is Patsy Penicillin, who is a frumpy, bleach blonde, 58-year-old hairdresser / whore with the face of a well-used baseball mitt who makes a champagne room out of wherever she's at. The pub uses her to provide bottle service, but it isn't the bottle service you're thinking of. She's like the town bicycle. Everyone's ridden her and chipped her 2 front teeth doing it. She provides blowouts at her salon and at the pub. Currently, she's checking out Holster and licking her lips while her temperature rises like she's Joe Biden spotting a 7-year-old from across the Rose Garden. And then our third and final character is Nigel Nightworm, who is a not-so-bright, bone-thin British 59-year-old with long gray hair who was a once promising punk rocker who even had Rolling Stone magazine interview him. He was hailed as the next Sid Vicious or Johnny Rotten. He was a dream of all women and the nightmare of hotel housekeeping staffs. It all went downhill, though, after he was caught nailing Princess Di in his trailer at Wembley during Live Aid. The royal family saw to it that he was Meghan Markled out of the music business. At this particular point in time, he's sipping a Cosmopolitan and thumbing through a magazine at the bar, okay? And so we just have the first few lines that I'm writing just to kind of give you the flavor of what we're talking about with this script, you know, so you kind of get the vibe and you could use that to write your lines here. Let me check live chat here. I got Professor Savage Dad. Hey, welcome to the show there, Professor. He says, I hope to work on some writing with it this weekend. Well, appreciate that, Professor. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'll be looking for that. Counting on you. I know that you're going to be one of our best script writers out there. And Trevor, yeah, I'd love to see you get out there and write some lines. You know what? And it's going to give everyone a chance to make fun of me and Ian and Sean, okay? Because between me, Ian, and Sean, we're going to be playing these characters, okay? So, and we don't know which characters we're going to be playing so far. So we're going to draw out of a hat. And you know what? Yours truly might end up playing Patsy Penicillin, okay? And if I do, well, I got to think of a good voice for old Patsy Penicillin, you know? So we'll just try to picture like what she looks like there. But yeah, that's what we've got going on with tdpn.locals.com. So again, you have to be a member of tdpn.locals.com to participate. And Trevor in the live chat, we need to take it easy on Ian. He's fragile. Okay, there you go. So, so keep that in mind, everybody. Okay, that's a word on the streets, and by the streets, I mean Trevor. Okay, so that is what we've got going on there. Okay, so let's get back over here. Okay, and I'm going to stop sharing that. Okay, let's move that on out of there. Okay. And we are going to get back to the synopsis here. Oh, but let me not forget to ask you to like this show, subscribe to this channel. Okay, all right. So like this Movies Merica spoiler warning, and then get in the comments down below. Okay, so right now you can live chat with me, but after the show is through, okay, you can still comment down below this show. Okay, and I want to hear. Hear all your comments and that kind of thing. You know, I don't want you to miss out on that. Okay, so because I want to hear, hey, what's your favorite part of this movie? You know, what's your least favorite part of the movie? Any movie recommendations that you'd like me to review? Okay, that's I'm all for that. Okay, and that's because I'm open-minded, but. And again, I don't, I'm not doing this for myself, right? I'm doing this for the community, okay? All right, so I don't want to be that guy, and I just don't want to, sit here and just being falling all over myself.
Crash and burn, huh, Mav?
And I'm checking live chat here. Ends the toughest YouTuber I have ever talked to on the phone. How dare you? says Professor Savage Dad. So yes, we're getting some good live chats going on here. And again, hey, if you're watching the show and you're just hanging out in the background, but if you've got the ability to live chat, man, get in there and chat with us. Okay, now if you're behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler, we'll try to live chat and drive it. No, I'm kidding. Okay, don't do that. Okay, but if you're somewhere and you got your hands free and whatnot, like get in there and okay, so just get in there and check out these live chats. I mean,
Oh, look at those babies!
Yeah, just get in the live chat. It's looking delicious, just like those right there. Okay. All right, and so I think that notification bell. Yes, click on the old notification bell, and what that does is that's going to notify you whenever a brand new episode of Movies America Spoiler Warning is on its way to you. Okay, it's gonna give you a heads up, so that way you can get ready for it. All right, so okay, so let's get further into Robin Hood. All right, okay. So Robin Hood, we've got Robin Hood here on his trusty steed. Okay. And then here we've got Mark Strong. This is Godfrey. This is the main bad guy that I was talking about here. But so where we last left off is we've got Robin Hood. He's headed towards Nottingham, and so he's not quite there yet. But then Godfrey sees Robin Hood is the one that's giving the crown to the royal family. He knows that he's not Robert Loxley, actually I think he thinks he's Robert Loxley. I can't remember how that goes down, but for some reason Godfrey, this guy, sends his man, his second-hand man, after Robin Hood to take him and his merry men out. Okay, and because I think that's what it is. So he knows that Robin Hood knows what Godfrey was up to with ambushing the king's entourage and that kind of thing. And like I said, Godfrey here, he's best bros with Prince John now, King John right now. So basically he's tying up loose ends. So that's why he's got to take out Robin Hood and his merry men. Well, they try, they don't succeed. Robin Hood and his merry men dispatch them there, in expert fashion. Okay. And then they get to Nottingham, okay? But they first meet with Friar Tuck, okay? They run into Friar Tuck, and he's played by Mark Addy. And Mark Addy, as you heard, if you read my spoiler-free review of Robin Hood, or watched my spoiler-free review of Robin Hood back on Sunday, you saw that I said Mark Addy actually played King Robert Baratheon the year after Robin Hood came out on Game of Thrones, okay? And so there's all kinds of connections to Game of Thrones from this movie. So this movie also stars Max von Sydow, and he played the One-Eyed Raven on Game of Thrones as well. Okay, so let's check out the live chat here. So because I never want to ignore those. Godfrey, what Jeffrey should have grown up to be if it weren't for that poison and the fact that he was a psychopath. Yeah, exactly. Or assuming you or Joffrey, you think about Joffrey in Game of Thrones. Yep. So that's what he grown up as. So but a good thing we had the purple wedding and Joffrey got taken out. Okay, so absolutely got taken out rightfully. But so then we move on, and so Robin Hood gets to Nottingham, meets up with Friar Tuck, played by Mark Addy, and then Robin Hood meets up with he gets to Nottingham, meets up with Maid Marian, okay? And he doesn't know that Maid Marian was the wife of Robert Loxley, the guy that gave him the sword, okay? And so he basically tells her that, Robert Loxley, he's dead, okay? And then you see Cate Blanchett playing Maid Marian. She's, of course, suddenly, just shocked, right? Because that's her husband, right? Well, Robin Hood doesn't know this, okay? So he has no idea, what he's just told her. Obviously, probably would have put it a little bit more delicately. And so then he goes up to Loxley Manor or whatever it's called, and meets up with Max von Sydow, who he plays like Walter Loxley, okay. And before he meets with Walter Loxley, Maid Marian's like, hey, don't tell Walter that Robert is dead, okay? Because he's not going to take it very well. So Robert comes down. Robin gives him the sword, and Walter puts two and two together. Like, okay, if he's giving me his sword, how's a soldier going to fight without his sword? And he puts two and two together. Like, oh man, my son is dead. Okay, and so then Walter, he'll be the stand-up guy that he is. He's just like, hey, want you to stay here with us, okay? And we can actually even pretend to be my son here. So let me adjust here something here.
Okay. All right. Okay, so hopefully that sounds a little bit better. All right. So sorry, I had a little house cleaning to do there right in the middle of this. So Walter Loxley, being the stand-up guy he is, he just like, yeah, hey, come on in, Robin Hood, and again, he obviously knows he's not his son, right? So he knows he's Robin Hood, and obviously Cate Blanchett does. And then at that part, Robin Hood has realized that Cate Blanchett, Maid Marian, is the wife of the guy whose sword he's just returned. Okay, and so being a good guy that Robin Hood is, of course, he apologizes to Maid Marian, because he knows
I'm a dumbass.
Yep, exactly. So he's like, yeah, he apologizes to Maid Marian, and
I gotta go take him.
Yeah, because he's got to put his face back on, So, yeah. So then we've got. Oh, I just realized I got this TDPN banner. He'll still on. Whoops. Okay. All right. Yeah. It's a well-oiled machine here, and by that I mean like I don't know what I'm doing. Let me check the live chat here. Okay. So. We got some Friar Tuck honey for you. Hey, thanks a lot there, Trevor, for the $20 Rumble rant. Absolutely. So, Trevor, stand-up guy, I tell you. So, yeah. So, and that reminds me. Thanks for the reminder there, Trevor. So, if you're on Rumble and you're in the live chat, you can hit that $ icon right next to where you can put in your content of your live chat, your comment or your message. And then, you can donate to the working man right here, okay? Putting in some work, okay? So a lot of people are off their 8 to 5 jobs right now. Me, I'm sweating and toiling for you, okay? I'm in the coal mine of the live streaming world here, okay? So, yes, I appreciate you supporting me and my 17 kids. All right. Hey, we've got Ian, Till Death Podcast in the live chat. Sound is way better. Awesome. And sup, y'all. Yep. So, and then Professor Savage, check your gain. I think you're peaking a little. Hey, well, thank you. Appreciate that. So appreciate the input. Any input, because I'm not trying to blow anybody's eardrums out. So there we go. Knob has officially been turned down from 85 down to 65. Okay. It's like Spinal Tap, their volume knob or their gain knob goes up to 11. Mine goes up to like 85. Okay. That's how we rock over here. Okay. So hopefully when I corrected my sound, I didn't, blow anybody's eardrums out right there. So, but
be offended.
Okay, that wasn't very nice of me. That wasn't very nice, Van. Okay. All right. So check a live chat here. Make sure I haven't missed anybody. Okay. Hey, is that better? Everyone, let me know. Is that better? Okay. So I'm all about, reacting to input, that is for sure. Okay, so moving on. So Robin and his merry men, they're hanging out in Nottingham. Okay, now, so they're part of the Nottingham crew, and then Maid Marian, since Walter Loxley wants Robin Hood to pretend that him and Maid Marian are married, and they want to convince everybody, even the waits or the servants and that kind of thing. Maid Marian's like, okay, hey, you got to stay in my quarters, okay, with me. And so they act as husband and wife. And that works out pretty good for Robin, obviously, because Trevor's like, I think it's better, but my eardrums are already blown out. So I got that going for me. And Professor Savage Dad, there you go, dude, perfect. Absolutely. Okay, appreciate the comments there. So Robin and Maid Marian are getting to know each other better, and then you can kind of feel the sexual tension going on right there. Okay. So
did anyone ever tell you you're a moron?
Yeah, okay, yeah, I know I had to go with the sexual tension route. Okay, it's a good wholesome relationship. Okay, well, what's going on here between them, and I had to soil it like that. Okay, so again, yeah, I think I've made that point clear. They are getting to know each other. Okay, but not in that way. Okay, and so you've just got this tension going on between them. And then the merry men, they're getting to know their fellow Nottingham residents. They're out there. They find some women, okay, some Nottingham ladies, and they're partying it up. And the merry men, actually, all three of them, the actors that play the merry men in here, I think Scott Grimes. I'm going to try to remember on the top of my head. So we got Scott Grimes. Boy, I'm going to fail on the next two. Anyway, should have never tried to tackle that. Okay. That's I know. What was I thinking? But they're all musicians in real life. Okay. One of them's even like the lead singer of a band from Canada. Okay. And so they're playing music throughout the movie. Okay. They're singing their little old, merry old England songs and that kind of thing. So they know how to party. Okay. So, they're at, Studio Nottingham, at the hottest club in town, partying it up with the ladies. Okay. It's ladies' night at Club Nottingham. And they're getting down. Okay. So all that to say is that they're getting to know Nottingham. Okay. And so then we've got, by this time, Godfrey knows that his men have been killed because the second in command is the one guy that survived. And he's told Godfrey that, yeah, you know what, our bad. We forgot to, we failed in our mission there for you, okay? And it's so then Godfrey goes out there and he's taking care of. What do we got? There we go. Oh yes, Professor Savage at Supian. Trevor, you could have just said two random names. I know your audience, we'd have no idea. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, they're played by John Smith and Joe Morgan. There we go. Yeah, that's who they were. Yeah. So like I said, this movie, the plot is intricate. Okay, very intricate. And so I'm gonna miss some stuff right here. So because I just know in my head, picture in my head that I'm missing some points of this movie.
You are a retard.
Yeah. Okay. So then Prince John, King John right now, he's meeting with Godfrey, and Godfrey says King John, hey, you deserve some taxes, man. You need to go out there. You need to get taxes. We need to fill your coffers with money. Okay. And King John's like, you know what? I like money. All right, go on out there. So unbeknownst to King John, Godfrey's got a secret plan to help France invade England. Okay. So what Godfrey's plan is to get as many mounted men. Okay, don't get dirty. Okay. This isn't that kind of show. Mounted men, meaning they're on horses. Okay. From King John to go out there and collect taxes from around the English countryside. Okay. Well, so then Godfrey gets his mounted men. Okay. I'm going to stop saying that. His soldiers on horses. And then all of a sudden, so it's at nighttime. The soldiers on horses, they've made camp. They're sleeping at night. Okay. And then these French soldiers come on, they invade England, and they happen upon the sleeping soldiers, and then the French soldiers kill the sleeping English soldiers and take their uniforms. And then, so now that Godfrey is running all over the English countryside, collecting taxes, he's actually doing it with French troops now as part of a plan to take over England. But King John has no idea that this is happening. Trevor, yes, he says, Kevin Durand. I feel like that sounds right for one of them. Yep, that is exactly it. Kevin Durand. That's one of the actors that plays one of the merry men right there. And Kevin Durand, he was actually in a couple other movies with Russell Crowe. He was in Mystery Alaska with Russell Crowe in 1999, the hockey movie with Russell Crowe. Then he was also in 3:10 to Yuma that came out, before Robin Hood. So he played like this piece of shit cowboy in 3:10 to Yuma. So yeah, thanks for saving my bacon on that there, Trevor. So let's what do we got here? Let's kind of move on down the road here. So we've got that's Ridley Scott. That's the director of the movie. There's London, I guess. So not exactly modern day London. Okay. So then we've got Godfrey running around the English countryside. Well, he's supposed to be collecting taxes, but he's really like sacking castles and burning down villages and that kind of thing, and killing the good old English folk. Okay. And so then somehow King John, he finds out so King John finds out that his boy Godfrey, he finds out what his boy Godfrey is up to. Okay. And that's because it's like William Hurt's character, William Archer, finds out that it's French troops that's going across the English countryside, and they're basically working their way to kill, to take over the country, right? So he finds out. He tells the Queen. The Queen tells King John what's going on. Okay, and so the King John's like, what the fuck, and so he's. So what he does is he's advised to go up to northern England and team up with like the land barons of northern England to take out Godfrey. Well, because of what Godfrey's been doing, Godfrey is basically going around and he's saying what he's doing is in the name of King John. So all the northern land barons in England think King John's a piece of shit, right? Goes like, what? You're coming up here, you're destroying our villages and our castles and whatnot. Want more money that we don't have because they're already taxing the shit out of us, So King John goes up there and tries to meet up with them and team up with them. So of course they're like, fuck you, like we're not down with that, okay? And so then Robin Hood, he is, by this time, he's learned out like who his father is, okay? And he's learned that where his father is from, so hence where he's from. And the town where he's from just happens to be the same town where everyone is meeting, where King John's meeting all the northern land barons and that kind of thing. And they're just getting together to see what they can do to get together and see if they can remove what Godfrey's plan or spoil Godfrey's plan there. So, all right. So, hey, are you guys thirsty right there? Because I know I am. And so I think it's time for a little brew review time. So let's get that going on there. All right, everybody. Okay. So, hey, I just want to introduce you to a friend of mine. We've got Warsteiner out of Germany. Okay. So this is a German Pilsner, and it's actually out of Warstein, Germany. And again, I keep forgetting to say this. I'm not getting any money from these breweries or whatever, so we got a little beer from the motherland. Okay. It's pretty good. It's got a little, what is it, like 4.8% alcohol by volume. So, it's not like drinking, Bud Light tranny fluid or anything like that. So from Anheuser-Busch, it's pretty good. It's not too thick, because it's just like a German Pilsner and whatnot. But yeah, you might be able to find some. It's not one that's going to be at your local grocery store or anything like that. But if you go on like GoPuff.com or something like that, or what is it, Drizzly.com, I think is another website where you can get like beers that you probably can't get in your area, get them delivered. Again, not getting any money from them yet. If you're listening, hey, you know what? Call me. All right. But hey, yeah, let me take a drink off this bad boy right here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah, that was some of my heavenly beer. Warsteiner, I have to give it my recommendation. I'm not going to recommend every beer. And again, just to reiterate, this is not brewed by Anheuser-Busch. Okay. So, save your hate mail and don't show up on my place with your pitchforks and torches. Okay. So, all right. That has been brew review time. Okay, all right. So let's get the party started here again. And where were we here? So okay, and I'll tell you, it's fascinating. I know you're like, get this thing going. Come on, share this. All right. Okay, so here we've got so we got the castle. I don't know if that's Buckingham Palace. I don't know if you can call it that. Maybe it is here. But before I get back into the fun here, let me check live chat. Yep, Trevor, you're right. Another missed opportunity for Bud Light. There you go. They're missing a lot of opportunities here lately. So, and one opportunity they're definitely missing by their choice is apologizing for what they've done. It's hilarious yet kind of aggravating to see them basically try everything and anything but apologizing. Like all you have to do is just be a mature, upstanding adult and just say 2 words. I'm sorry. Okay. That's all you got to do. Okay. And I know that you're afraid of having, Tranny Nation and, the LG HD TV community on your butt, but you know what? Hey, you got a lot more people that are, not part of those communities that'll have your back. Okay. So now people probably still won't drink Bud Light after that, but but it'll show you're mature and you've got a little bit of adult in you if you apologize. But anyway, but I digress. Let's get to Robin Hood. All right, so yeah, okay, so got Robin Hood, and they're coalescing together. Okay, we're getting a coalition of the willing. To quote, was it George W. Bush? Back in the day, and they're getting together to take out Godfrey and the sneak attack by the French troops. Okay, and so at this time, there we go. I don't know where that came from. Robin Hood is, he's got to leave Nottingham. Okay, and so he's got to leave Maid Marian behind. And but over this course of this movie here, they do a pretty good, convincing job of developing the love story between Cate Blanchett's Maid Marian and Russell Crowe's Robin Hood. And so by the time he's got to go off to war and fight France and whatnot, so she's at that point where she's like, I'm going to miss this guy, all right? And so Russell Crowe, being the smooth operator that he is, he's making the moves on her, and he ends up, they end up locking lips before he jumps on his horse to go fight the French and whatnot. So it's all that tension definitely added up to a little romance. Okay, and but I give it full credit to this movie, and it only works with the unrated director's cut. I give full credit to this movie in really making their love story very, very convincing.
That's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
Yeah, if you guys are saying that there, hey, more power to you. Okay, so, but so anyway, so Robin Hood, he rides off to war. Okay, and he meets up with King John and William Archer, and they have got to go meet up with. They're heading to the beach. Okay, they're headed to the beach to fight off the Godfrey and the French. Okay, and also unbeknownst to them, well, I shouldn't say unbeknownst to them, but as part of the fight, on the beach there with Godfrey and the French troops and that kind of thing, there's like a whole lot of French ships. They're just right off the shores of London there, and they've got to get the battle on. Okay, so let me get a little tug here. Okay. Let's see. I take one drink of that. I just can't stop drinking it. So you're going to see me continually hitting on that beer. That is for show. Okay. So they basically meet up for battle, and King John is there, played by Oscar Isaac, and he's there to lead the troops. And so he's they've established. I should mention that they've established that King John is really a piece of shit. Okay, he's been raised up as a spoiled son of royalty, and so he's definitely not an honorable guy. They insinuated that King Richard the Lionheart that died way back in the movie, at the beginning of the movie, he was like a kind of a pure of heart, kind of a good guy. He cared about the people and that kind of thing. At least that's the impression that I got, but not so much with King John. Okay, he's a piece of crap there. So, all right. So yeah, so like I said, they're running off to war here on the beach. Okay, but before I get into that, though, I just want to cut to a segment that I want to get into to introduce you to a military movie moment. That's basically what I'm calling the segment, the military movie moment. Okay, and what I'm doing with that is I want to introduce you each week to a member of our military, a proud member of our military, whose heroics actually could be a movie moment. Okay, when I'm reading what they did, it's very, very, very possible that while I'm reading what they did to earn their Medal of Honor, or their Purple Heart, or their Bronze Star, or whatever they've gotten, or they've received, or they've been awarded with, you're gonna be thinking, "Wow, that could be a really cool movie moment." And so I just wanted to pay tribute to them. Okay, so today's Medal of Honor winner here, and hey, I've even got some music here for you. So let's get this going on. All right, let me turn that down here. Make sure it's not too loud. All right. Yeah, doesn't that get you in the mood to hear about some Medal of Honor gallantry? Okay. So today's Medal of Honor winner is Arthur Jr. Jackson, or Arthur J. Jackson. Okay, and this is a Marine in World War II. Okay, and so he got his Medal of Honor for the following: for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty while serving with the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division in action against enemy Japanese forces on the island of Peleliu in the Palau Group, 18 September 1944. Boldly taking the initiative when his platoon's left flank advance was held up by the fire of Japanese troops concealed in strongly fortified positions. Private First Class Jackson unhesitatingly proceeded forward of our lines and courageously, defying the heavy barrages, charged a large pillbox housing approximately 35 enemy soldiers, pouring his automatic fire into the opening of the fixed installation to trap the occupying troops. He hurled white phosphorus grenades, basically grenades that'll melt your face off. I mean, we're talking about 1472 Fahrenheit for these bad boys, okay? So he throws in some white phosphorus grenades and explosive charges brought up by a fellow Marine, demolishing the pillbox and killing all of the enemy. So, yeah, but he's not done. Advancing alone under the continuous fire from other hostile emplacements, he employed similar means to smash 2 smaller positions in the immediate vicinity, determined to crush the entire pocket of resistance, although harassed on all sides by the shattering blast of Japanese weapons and covered only by small rifle parties. He stormed one gun position after another, dealing death and destruction to the savagely fighting enemy in his inexorable drive against the remaining defenses, and succeeded in wiping out a total of 12 pillboxes. That's 12 pillboxes. You heard me right, folks. And 50 Japanese soldiers. Stout-hearted and indomitable, despite the terrific odds, Private First Class Jackson resolutely maintained control of the platoon's left flank movement throughout his valiant one-man assault, and by his cool decision and relentless fighting spirit during a critical situation, contributed essentially to the complete annihilation of the enemy in the southern sector of the island. His gallant initiative and heroic conduct in the face of extreme peril reflect the highest credit upon Private First Class Jackson and the U.S. Naval Service. Yes. Yes. So that is our Medal of Honor winner for this movie military moment. There we go. Got to get that out there. Okay. So yeah, just wanted to pay some tribute to a gallant member of our armed forces. Okay, so if you think you're having a bad day, try trying to take out 12 pillboxes and throwing white phosphorus grenades, because those things are touchy. Okay, if you've ever seen plenty of like YouTube videos where you got to handle those pretty carefully right there, because actually part of the things that white phosphorus grenades does is it sucks out all the oxygen where you throw it. Okay, so you got to be really careful with those. Okay, let's check out the live chat, shall we? Okay, we've got Beer Drinking Trev. Did I miss the love story part where Robin rescues the ram first before Marion? No, you did not. I totally skipped over that part there, but that's a good part. Yeah, that's a part of Robin's involuntary wooing of her, because I think that that showed made Marion that, hey, Robin's not hanging on my every word, and he's not putting me up on a pedestal, and it's kind of like some kind of, they call it negging now, right? He's kind of negging Maid Marian by basically what Trevor's talking about is there's a part in the movie, for anybody who hasn't watched the movie, if you've seen it, obviously you know what I'm talking about. It looks like they've got like a quicksand or something like that, and there's a ram that's trapped in the quicksand, and it made Marian, being the stand-up lady that she is, she goes in there to rescue the ram. And she basically she falls into a deep part of the quicksand. She can't feel her legs, so hence she can't help the ram, right? And so then Robin Hood's there, and he goes and he jumps in the quicksand, is the gallant man that he is, right? And but instead of getting Maid Marian out of there first, he goes for the ram first, okay? And so Cate Blanchett, Maid Marian, sees this, and she's like, "My lord." after he goes for the ram first, and so he gets the ram out. And then he goes for Maid Marian, and of course she's snarkily says like, "Oh, is it my turn?" So that's the part that Trevor is talking about. So yeah, appreciate the heads up on that Trevor. I want my 10 steps cookie. All right, so yeah, you know what? I have to admit, I'm not sure what that's referring to right there. So, but feel free to laugh profusely at me if it's something really obvious and I'm just brain farting on that. Okay, so yeah, we have done a movie military moment, and let's finish it up. Let's wrap it up. Let's bring this puppy home with Robin Hood. Okay, so let's get this going on here. In order to deprive you of all the pictures and that kind of thing, so we gotta do that. Okay, so all right, and okay, so there we've got our castle again. All right, and so like I said, they're off to war on the beach. Okay. And this is hey, well, what fortuitous timing. There we go. They're headed towards the beach. It almost, well, I was going to say it almost looks like Normandy there, which actually, ironically enough, I guess the where in real life where this battle took place, it actually looks more like Normandy, France. Okay. But they wanted to film in Normandy, but Normandy doesn't look like Normandy did back then, right? Okay, so they had to come here to this place that looks like Normandy even before World War II. Okay, so way before World War II, right? And so this is a part of England here. And so I don't know if you guys all understood that or not. What do we got here? Oh, Beer Drinking Trev, Men of Honor. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Cuba Gooding Jr., Robert Downey Jr. Robert De Niro movie, yes, where Cuba Gooding Jr. plays the diver, right? The Navy diver. He's a salvage expert. All right, yeah, I've seen that movie once, and I saw it I think when it first came out there. So that's my excuse. All right, so we see King John and Robin Hood and William Archer and the good guys. They're headed down to fight the French down here that we see below, and they get down there and they're flanking them. The battle ensues, and also while during the fighting, Robin realizes that actually Maid Marian is there. Okay, Maid Marian is there in the battle, and so of course he's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing here? Come on, you're supposed to be like at home, like babysitting our ram that I saved for you." Okay, but Maid Marian in this movie, she's a badass. She's a girl boss, as they say, now, and so she's there to battle. Okay, and so then the King of France is in one of the boats here, and so he's expecting an invasion without incident, okay? Because he thought that Godfrey and his French troops would be the only ones there on the beach, and he didn't think that the King of England and Robin Hood and all those would even know about it. So he's out on the boats and he sees this big battle happening, right? And he's like, "What the fuck?" And so he's like, "Hey, we got to get the hell out of here." Which is not, we're not going to do this. He's pretty.
No, God, please, no.
Yeah, he knows his goose is cooked. Someone's giving up their shit, and so he's getting out of Dodge, okay. But Godfrey is still battling, okay, and because he knows, hey, he's got no future. He knows what he's got to go, and he just can't.
I gotta go take him.
Can't do it. So he's going after Maid Marian. Okay, somehow, of course, the movie has to have Maid Marian happen upon Godfrey, and Godfrey is trying to kill Maid Marian. Well, Robin Hood saves the day, right? He goes after Godfrey and saves Maid Marian, and then it's Godfrey versus Robin Hood, right? And they're just fighting it out, and you get the good battle scene going on. It's And Robin Hood is obviously he's been on crusade. He's been a knight on crusade. Well, he's not a knight, but he's been a soldier on crusade, so he knows what he's doing. And Godfrey knows what he's doing. So you got a good epic battle. And so then I think Godfrey somehow they get distracted or something. Then Godfrey jumps on his horse and gets away, or doesn't get away. He tries to get away. Okay, and so Robin Hood. This is one of the big moments of the movie. Robin Hood, he basically shoots an arrow and it basically lands right in Godfrey's neck. Yep. Oh yeah, he got it. It's hit him right there, and it's not ending well for Godfrey whatsoever.
Damn.
Yep. And so our main bad guy, or one of our main, I could say our main bad guy, has been vanquished, and the French are running. They're surrendering. I know it's hard to believe that the French are surrendering, but they're out of there. And we think that hey, we think we've got a happy ending. The English have won. Robin Hood, you're a hero. King John should have a nice, happy kingdom to lord over. Now, before the battle, before they went to the beach to battle it down, and we had our battle royale. When they had that meeting between King John and the Northern Lords back in that town, Robin Hood was talking about how that every man should have the freedom to live their life, right? To farm their own land and raise their own kids, and that kind of thing. Just basically to have liberty, okay? And he basically wanted King John to sign a law saying that, hey, all people in England should have liberty to do what they want, right? It's basically the freedoms that we as Americans, we take for granted, but we do have. Now we're losing them little by little. Okay, but that's a whole nother conversation there to have. But yeah, Robin Hood, runs that by King John. Of course, all the northern landowners are like, yeah, we're down with that. Yeah, let's do it. So King John promises, the landowners and Robin Hood, yeah, I will sign this treaty that, I will sign this liberty by law treaty, if you guys help me defeat the French. So, okay, so they've beat the French now, and they're cut back to London, and they're at this treaty signing ceremony. They got the northern landowners there, King John. They don't show Robin Hood there for some reason. But King John, being the piece of shit that he is, he's about to sign it. He's making everyone think that he's about to sign it. And all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I have been made king by divine right. Okay. God has made me king. And if I sign this law, it weakens my power. It weakens the power that God has given me. Okay. So, I'm not signing this shit. So psych. Okay. I don't know if anybody says that anymore, but apparently I just did. And so, of course, the northern landowner's like, what? You promised, And then, of course, on top of that, King John is like, oh, and that Robin Hood guy, Yeah, he's an outlaw. Okay. So anybody that's harboring Robin Hood, they're going to be an outlaw. They're going to be treated accordingly. There's a bounty, for Robin Hood's head and that kind of thing. And so then from that, they cut to Robin Hood and his merry men and Friar Tuck and Maid Marian and everybody. They're out in the forest, Sherwood Forest. And then they had the sheriff of Nottingham. He's putting up the poster, the notice, hey, Robin Hood's a criminal. He's an outlaw. You need to turn him in if you see him. And so not a great situation for Robin Hood. Okay. You think he has a happy ending, but King John, being the piece of shit that he is, has made him an outlaw. And then the movie ends at that. Okay. So it makes it very obvious that they were hoping to have a sequel. Okay. But this movie made about $7 at the box office. Okay. And so then, of course, Universal's like, that sequel that you guys were planning, that is not going to be happening, so, and they pretty much, so since they realized that they
crashed and burned, huh, Mav?
No sequel will be happening for Robin Hood. So unfortunately, we didn't get a sequel. Now, again, I think that if they would have released the unrated director's cut, I think there would have been a sequel. I think because I think that people would have gone and seen it. I think it would have gotten enough good word of mouth out there. It may not have made like major bank like the first weekend it was out. It might not have been like the Super Mario Brothers movie or Guardians of the Galaxy 3 that's coming out today, or like a Marvel movie. But I think good word of mouth would have been out there, and then I think it would have made enough money to get a sequel. I mean, now like Dune, Dune came out back in 2021. I love Dune. That movie was awesome, but it didn't really make money. Okay, but the word of mouth of surrounding that movie was so good that it made enough money to where they greenlit a sequel. Okay, and we got Shawnee Mac, yo, what up, man? Hey, there we go. Thanks for showing up there, Shawnee Mac. So we've got our first YouTube commenter here. So appreciate you guys joining us from the YouTube, this up and coming platform called YouTube. Okay. If they would have just had the unrated director's cut out there, this it would have had good word of mouth. We would have had a sequel to Robin Hood, but alas, we did not. And another movie like that is another Ridley Scott movie called Kingdom of Heaven. I would really recommend that you guys go see that. Okay, that's a movie that came out 5 years after Ridley Scott's Gladiator. Okay, and you would have thought it would have made big money because Kingdom of Heaven it stars Orlando Bloom, and he plays like the son of a knight that played by Liam Neeson. And he ends up going on a crusade down to Jerusalem. So it takes place like in olden times, medieval times, whatever you want to call it, during the time of the Crusades. Again, it's Ridley Scott back in ancient history. That formula worked beautifully for Gladiator. Only one Best Picture, right? And so the studio, I think it was Universal, released that. Universal or Fox released Kingdom of Heaven, I believe. And so they thought that, it was going to be a surefire box office hit, but they released the theatrical version that they released of Kingdom of Heaven was dog shit too, just like the theatrical version of Robin Hood. And so word of mouth got around, like, don't go see Kingdom of Heaven. It's not good. And they were right. The theatrical version does suck, but there is an unrated director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. Watch the unrated director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven. And it's like 3 hours long, something like that, but that just means, you're getting more movie for your money. Okay. I've never been one of those people like, I hate it when a movie's really, really long. Okay. Well, yeah, I hate it when a movie's really, really long when it sucks, but when it's good, I look at it as, hey, you're getting maximum bang for your buck. Okay. Trevor, what do we got here? I didn't see the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven, which is why I hated it. Yeah, Trevor, give it another shot there, but give it the director's cut shot. Kingdom of Heaven. So yeah, it's really good. It's epic, man. It's definitely epic. Just like the unrated director's cut version of Robin Hood is epic. It's just like you watch this movie, you're like, wow, this is what old movies used to be like, where they used to just have all the locations and all the extras and the cast of thousands and whatnot, before green screen and all that stuff. So very, very epic. Okay. All right. So yeah, so that's been the synopsis here. And yeah, definitely appreciate everyone commenting here. I see another YouTube comment here. So what do we got? YouTube gang is here. Shawnee Mac. Yes, there we go. Represents. Good to see you guys here. Absolutely. So I want to hear more from you guys. Okay. But because like I said, I don't do this for me. I want to be talking to myself. That'd be pretty psycho if I'm just sitting here talking to myself on a live stream of one. And then so we've got Trevor with another live stream here. Is there a director's cut of Rubber that makes it good? Not that I know of. Not that I know of right there. So, but actually, I've never even heard of Rubber right there. So, again, that's probably something that's really obvious that I'm just missing right there. So, yeah, unless you mean Flubber. And I don't think even a director's cut of Flubber could make that movie good. Okay. All right. So with that here, let me take this moment here to let you know about Nature Clear. Yes, Nature Clear is something that we are proud to be affiliated with, because Nature Clear is a recovery powder that you can use to either prevent a hangover, okay, or you can recover from the hangover, okay. And so, yeah, if you're going to go out there, you're going to have a little too many tankards of mead, like they do in Robin Hood in a couple of scenes, and you want to avoid the hangovers. Now, they couldn't avoid the hangover in Robin Hood because they didn't have Nature Clear back in those days, okay? Let me see what Trevor said. Please don't. Rubber is about a telekinetic tire. It's terrible, though. Well, there you go. I'll tell you, we're talking about very obscure movies right there, but I love it. All right. So back to Nature Clear. So then, yeah, you just take some Nature Clear before you go out, before you have your 27 tequila shots, or your War Steiners, okay. And yeah, you can party all you want. You don't have to worry about getting a hangover. But if you're out there partying and you realize right in the middle of partying, oh man, I forgot to take my Nature Clear. Have no fear. You take your Nature Clear afterwards, okay. And it's very easy to take Nature Clear because it just comes in these little packets, okay. And you just take the little packets, okay, and like you've seen, little powders and that kind of thing, little Kool-Aid powders and that kind of thing. It's just like that. And yeah, you just take that and you just pour it in like 12 ounces of water, okay, and or you put it in a bottle of water, you shake it up, and you just take that, okay. It also helps you recover. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that it helps you recover from like vaping and smoking, that kind of thing. So it's got a lot of uses, okay? Okay, it's get it in your arsenal. It's like the Swiss Army knife of somebody going out and partying and that thing. If you're if you're a club girl, you like to shake your booty at the club a lot, and you're sick of getting those hangovers. Hey, you know what? You need to stock up on Nature Clear. Okay, you need to get yourself a closet full of Nature Clear if you're that girl. Okay, and in order to do that, you just click on the link in the description here and get to Nature Clear's website and just pick out your Nature Clear that you want, get it into the carts, and then in the carts, there's a promo code field, and then you just type in promo code MOVIES to get yourself 25% off your next order of a Nature Clear, okay? So, yeah, check it out right there, okay? You will not be sorry whatsoever, okay? So let's check out our chats. Trevor's like, does it have electrolytes? Go away. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I've got the go away bait, and there we go. It's like, what is that word? Go. Yeah, but we've got. I like that. The idiocracy reference right there. That deserves a drink. So. There we go. I should drink that closer to the microphone so you hear my gulping, so we don't have complete dead silence while I do a little drinking, a little swallowing, but that's gross. Okay. All right. Okay. So yeah, let's check out for any other comments here, and we're reading for chats, and nothing quite yet. Okay. But I know that I will see more live chats because you guys will not let me down. And again, hey, if you guys you don't want to help support the working man here, again, in Rumble, you can hit that $sign button there, and you can provide or give me what they call a Rumble rant, where, yeah, you can support the working man here so I can feed my 17 kids. Okay, so, all right. So right now what I want to do is I want to just go through like 5 of my favorite Russell Crowe movies, okay? And in really actually, I was about to say no particular order. They're really in date order, okay? And so the first one I'm going to go through here is, let's get this going on.
Came on a bus with dreams of Hollywood and
Okay, so what we've got here is this is a L.A. Confidential, as some of you know here just from looking at the picture here, and so this is like the movie, like the first movie that really got people noticing Russell Crowe, and now he was in The Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone. Was it a couple of years before this movie? But he was kind of more of a bit player in that movie. But then in this one, he gets a few more lines, okay, in this one. And this is when I really first noticed, his acting chops. And so in this scene, it's Russell Crowe. He plays Officer Bud White of the L.A. Police Department, okay. And then Kim Basinger, she plays a whore, a high-class whore. And basically Bud White's there to question her about a crime.
this is how they turned out. Thanks to Pierce, we still get to act a little.
Tell me about Pierce.
He's waiting for you to mention money.
You want some advice, Miss Bracken?
It's Lynn.
All right, so yeah, so obviously you can see Russell Crowe's like he's not having it, right? He's not distracted by her charms. He's there on business, but we'll see if that continues.
Miss Bracken, don't ever try to fucking bribe me or threaten me, or I'll have you and Patchett and shit up to your ears.
I remember you from Christmas Eve. You have a thing for helping women, don't you, Officer White?
Maybe I'm just fucking curious.
So yeah, so what she's referring to is earlier in the movie, there's like some city councilman. He's at Kim Basinger's place right there, and he's roughing her up, or he's roughing somebody else up, some other one of these high class call girls, and so then Russell Crowe, Bud White, shows up and basically beats the dude out for laying his hands on a woman, which you should never do. There you go. Let's check out for live chats here. We've got Trevor. He wants to butter her bread. Hey, you should write Hallmark cards there, Trevor. So let's continue on.
You say fuck a lot.
You fuck for money.
There's blood on your shirt. Is that an integral part of your job?
Yeah,
Do you enjoy it?
when they deserve it.
Did they deserve it today?
I'm not sure.
But you did it anyway.
Yeah. Just like the half dozen guys you screwed today.
So the way that they portray Bud White in this movie is that they think he's like some big dumb cop. He's just like he's all brawn and no brain, and he's like the muscle in this movie. Okay, so when they got bad guys, really bad guys, they take him to this house and they beat the crap out of him, to get confessions and that kind of thing. And so Russell Crowe here is the guy that basically he's the guy he's fucking people up, at this house there, trying to get confessions out of them. And so that's what she's referring to here.
Well, actually, it was only 2. You're different, Officer White. You're the first man in 5 years who didn't tell me I look like Veronica Lake inside of a minute.
You look better than Veronica Lake.
So this is when he's like debating, like, I'm going to start turning on the charm because, yeah, she's looking pretty good. Okay. I mean, if Bruce Wayne, Batman couldn't resist her charms a few years ago, hey, how can I resist her charms, right? So, but he's starting to break down a little bit.
Pierce Patchett.
He takes a cut of our earnings and invests it for us. Doesn't let us use narcotics, and he doesn't abuse us. Can your policeman's mentality grasp those?
I'm going to fast forward that a little bit.
It was a mistake. I'd like to see you again.
Are you asking me for a date or an appointment?
I don't know.
If you're asking me for a date, I should know your first
Forget I
name.
asked. It was a mistake.
All right. So yeah, so as you can see there, I mean, Russell Crowe, he's a charismatic character in this. And if you watch the rest of LA Confidential, and if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. Okay. Now, don't let this scene is kind of a quieter scene, you know. So if you're like you used to only watch like action packed slam bang Marvel movies and DCEU and well, you just got to have a lot of action and shit. Even if you're that guy, okay, or gal, you'll find this movie is pretty suspenseful, pretty riveting, and whatnot. It's got, but it does have the actor that shall not be named, Kevin Spacey, in it. So, if you're very delicate and sensitive, be warned. Okay, so. All right, so let's move on to our next lucky Russell Crowe movie. Yep. So, Trevor is unhinged on your list. Gladiator, Cinderella Man, 3:10 to Yuma. Oh yeah, you will soon find out, Trevor. Oh yeah. So, gotta just hold your wad because you will definitely see here. So, okay. So moving on to next.
Tell him to get on the fucking phone! He told me to tell you to get on the...
All right, here, let me, before we get too far into the scene, okay. So this is The Insider, okay? And this is where Russell Crowe plays Dr. Jeffrey Wigand. And as you can tell, obviously, since I have it up here, this is one of my favorite Russell Crowe movies. And he plays a whistleblower who used to work for a tobacco company. And he's trying to blow the whistle on them putting addictive or chemicals in there to make their cigarettes addictive. And Al Pacino in this movie plays Lowell Bergman. He's a producer who works with Mike Wallace on 60 Minutes. And, as you would imagine with well, maybe not 60 Minutes nowadays, but 60 Minutes back in the day, like in the 80s, whenever this took place, they were looking out for stories, right? Compelling news stories, trying to, uncover things and that kind of thing. So Lowell Bergman is the producer that goes out into the world and tries to find these stories to have these 60 minute segments for Mike Wallace. And so someone's turned him on to the fact that Jeffrey Wigand, Russell Crowe, is somebody who's gotten fired from a tobacco company. I think Brown and Williamson is the name of the fictional tobacco company in this movie. And so Al Pacino's Lowell Bergman character has been told, hey, we've got this whistleblower for this tobacco company that, obviously wants to blow the whistle. And so he's basically, pardon me, he's gone out, he's seeked out Russell Crowe's Jeffrey Wigand character, and they record this 60-minute segment with Mike Wallace. And so Russell Crowe's Jeffrey Wigand thinks like, oh, hey, they're going to air this 60 minutes segment, I'm going to, be this hero, and so I'm going to be able to get my life back with my kids, because up until this part of the movie that we're looking at right now, he's been persecuted. Okay. The tobacco company has been sending like people to harass him and cancel his credit cards and just terrorize the hell out of him. And since he's been fired, this family has to move out of their big house into a smaller house. And the tobacco company it's got guys calling up the house, making death threats and that kind of thing. So his family and him have been persecuted left and right, but he's under the impression like, well, I'm doing it for a good cause, because in the end, we're going to have the 60 minutes segment that I am going to be able to reveal to the world what Brown and Williamson is doing. Well, at this point of the movie right here, he knows he's just watched the 60 minutes segment. Jeffrey Wigand's just watched it in this hotel room. He's in a hotel room because his wife has basically kicked him out. Okay. She's divorcing him, or they're separated and that kind of thing because of all the pressure. So his life is falling apart. Okay. And so he's in this hotel room. He's been persecuted, and he's watching the 60 minutes segment. And in the 60 minutes segment, they don't show his incriminating evidence. They say, we here at CBS News, we can't show this because we're in the middle of this merger that this Brown and Williamson tobacco company is also involved in, and we're going to get sued and that kind of thing. so they don't show the incriminating evidence, which is the whole point of Jeffrey Wigand doing all of this. The whole point of him going through all this shit. And so now he knows, okay, I've lost my wife, I've lost my kids, I don't have a job, my job prospects are in the toilet because other companies, if they don't tend to hire people that they know worked for a tobacco company at any point in their life. So yeah, he's in a world of shit. Okay. And so that's where we're at. So all that to explain where we're at this part of the movie. Let me get a little bit back here.
I can't say that.
No, you can't. Tell him to get on the fucking phone!
He told me to tell you to get on the fucking phone!
You manipulated me into this.
That's bullshit, Jeff.
You greased the rails.
I greased the rails for a guy who wanted.
Okay, so this is like probably 2 hours into the movie. Okay, so you've had a lot of scenes with Al Pacino and Russell Crowe, and Russell Crowe really wants to do it, and he would do it if he was like just some single dude, but he knows he has a wife and 2 daughters in the mix, and he's having trouble deciding. Plus, he's got, as you would imagine, tobacco companies, they're very powerful. They have their own legal departments, and they've got high-priced lawyers. They've got all this infrastructure that is designed to squash any potential whistleblowers that are out there. Okay. But Russell Crowe is like, fuck that. I don't care about all that stuff. This truth has got to be free. This has been eating me up inside. I have to get this out. And Lowell Bergman has been trying to kind of like needling him along, but also to Al Pacino's character's credit here, he's been letting him know, like, hey, you know what? Hey, these are the risks. Okay. These are the risks. So right now, that's why Russell Crowe is acting out here.
To say yes, I helped him to say yes. That's all. You're not a robot, Jeff. Right? You got a mind of your own, don't you?
Up to you, Jeffrey. That's the power you have, Jeffrey. Vital insider information the American public need to know. Lowell Bergman, the hotshot who never met a source he couldn't turn around.
I fought for you, and I still fight for you.
You fought for me? You manipulated me into where I am now. Staring at the Brown and Williamson building. It's all dark except the 10th floor. That's the legal department. That's where they fuck with my life.
So yeah, and Mike Wallace, like I said, that's the guy. Obviously, we all know who Mike Wallace was, right? So famous 60 Minutes figure, and so he basically, Mike Wallace, he wanted the full story told too, right? He thinks, but he's kind of playing both sides. He's like, well, I understand what CBS's News's plight is here, but I also would like to have the full report and that kind of thing, and so he's kind of betrayed Jeffrey Wigand here as well. Lowell Bergman is the only one that's like, we got to play the full story where America finds out how tobacco companies, not just Brown and Williamson, but all the tobacco companies make their cigarettes addictive. They purposely do it. They're well aware that they make them addictive. And so Mike Wallace is like, if we don't show it, we don't show it. I'd like it, but we don't show it. He's but Lowell Bergman is like, no, we have to. I mean, this guy fucked up his life to bring this to the American public. This is public information. Everybody should fucking know. And so Lowell Bergman is definitely on his side here.
Jeffrey, where you going with this? So, where you going? You are important to a lot of people, Jeffrey. You think about that. You think about them.
So right here, they've been portraying, like right before where I cut into this scene, they've been making it look like after Russell Crowe, after Jeffrey Wigand, after everything he's gone through, like he's going to, blow his brains out. He's going to end it all and that kind of thing. So that's where we're at with here, but at this point in the movie. But yeah, The Insider came out the year before Gladiator. And so this is directed by the same guy who did Heat and the Miami Vice movie, well, who created Miami Vice back in the 80s, Michael Mann, The Last of the Mohicans, Ali. So yeah, Michael Mann, he makes great movies for the most part. And so, yeah, so Michael Mann made The Insider right here. But definitely should check it out. It's very interesting, very captivating, and it's just amazing the transition the transformation that Russell Crowe made between this movie. So obviously you see what he looks like right here. So he doesn't look like he's in real good shape, at this part of the movie right here. But then his next movie that I want to share with you here is the movie that I just mentioned. Okay, and you'll be happy about this, Trevor.
She's looking over again.
Yep, I skipped one. Okay. Well-oiled machine, everybody.
Will you remove your helmet and tell me your name?
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we know this scene right here. I'd be surprised if anybody in this watching this right now hasn't seen this movie. But obviously, in case you forgot, what you're watching here, this performance right here from Russell Crowe is a Best Actor Oscar-winning performance. Okay, so this is obviously the movie that just catapulted Russell Crowe to stardom, of course.
Commander of the armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true Emperor Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Yeah. So, so it's funny, like I said, how Gladiator really shot Russell Crowe into stardom. Because he said, like, after LA Confidential, people started knowing who he was, and he would get recognized some places, that kind of thing. But it was nothing compared to with the reception, just the stardom, and how people wanted to get to him after Gladiator, and just how famous he was. Trevor, we'll definitely need to watch this one. Never heard of it, The Insider. Yep. Yeah, do yourself a favor, Trevor. Yeah, definitely check it out. And the theatrical version of The Insider is just fine. No director's cut, unrated cut needed there. But Russell Crowe tells one story about how it was when he realized, like, how famous he was after Gladiator. Is he was in Rome, and he was just walking around, and he goes into a store to buy something, and then he comes back out, and he sees all these people, like, in the street in the middle of Rome. Okay, and he says, like, the Spanish Steps are over here, and some cathedrals over there, and he sees, like, some cops, like, rushing up towards him, and they look like they're barricading something off, like they're trying to create a barrier, and then there's big crowds of people just walking towards the cops and whatnot. Excuse me. And Russell Crowe goes up to one of the cops, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And one of the cops is like, "You're going on. You're what's going on, okay?" And it's right after he says that, he hears Russell Crowe said he hears the crowd going, "Gladiatores, gladiatores," I guess, which is what Italian for gladiator, right? And so it's just this big crowd of people in the middle of Rome, like just chanting Gladiator at Russell Crowe. But I guess shortly after Gladiator came out, so that's how he knows, like, wow, man, now I can't go anywhere now. Everyone's gonna know me. And of course, that's Joaquin Phoenix, who we've seen in a lot of movies since then. So obviously, is like what latest most famous role is as Joker, of course. So, but we saw him in Signs and other movies there. A very obscure movie that Joaquin Phoenix is in that I think came out after this. Anyway, it doesn't matter when it came out. It's called Buffalo Soldiers. Yeah, it's a great movie. It's a great movie. If you liked what's the movie with George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg, Three Kings. If you like that movie, it's kind of that attitude. It involves the army, and they're in Germany, and it's kind of got this smartass. It's kind of like an anti-military kind of movie, but it's pretty funny. And so Joaquin Phoenix plays like the main guy in that. Trevor, are you not entertained? Yes, that was another big moment in Gladiator. One of the most famous lines that are uttered to him, and that's like in Russell Crowe's point blank said, like that's one of the lines he hears all the time from people, or strength and honor, or at my signal, unleash hell, that kind of thing. Like those are famous lines from a Gladiator that he hears. And I don't know if I was going to say about all too much, but he might still like hearing that. But that's Gladiator. Again, won Best Picture. He won Best Actor, and he won some other Oscars. The costume designer. You're seeing it, obviously a demonstration of the costume design right here. The costume designer won an Oscar if you're interested in that kind of thing. Okay. Alrighty then. Let's move on from Gladiator. Okay, so let's get to the movie that I accidentally showed you a little or too early. And this is A Beautiful Mind.
Nash. Oh, God. All right, he may have the upper hand now, but wait until he opens his mouth. Remember you last time?
Oh, yes, that was the history books.
All right, so this is A Beautiful Mind, like I said, and this is where Russell Crowe plays William Nash, I believe. And he just plays like this eccentric professor, just like obviously he's a phenom, he's a genius, but he happens to be a schizophrenic as well, unfortunately for him. So he says, sees visions and that kind of thing. I think he sees like this the two main characters that he imagines is his college roommate, and then his college roommate's sister or daughter or something like that. I forget. It's been too long, obviously, since I've seen this movie. But in this scene, he's still in college. Obviously, he's at the bar with his college bros, and they're giving him shit, because he is, he's not, obviously, he's very eccentric. His social mannerisms are a little out there, okay, but he's smarter than all of them, and they're well aware of it. That's why they bust his balls. And so right here, you got the blonde, and she's checking out some Russell Crowe, some William Nash.
Adam Smith needs revision.
What are you talking about?
If we all go for the blonde, we block each other. Not a single one of us is going to get her.
Yeah, so this is an interesting way of learning about philosophy right there, and problem dynamics and that kind of thing. So you talk about it in terms of dating, the single life, but it's a pretty interesting way of illustrating it.
So then we go for her friends. But they will all give us the cold shoulder because nobody likes to be second choice. But what if no one goes for the blonde? We don't get in each other's way, and we don't insult the other girls.
And I should say that he actually was nominated for Best Actor for this as well. Alas, did not win. I don't know who won for this year here. So, but yeah, he did not win. But that would have been pretty cool if he would have won for this. Because I think he does a fantastic job. Because later on in the movie, like he definitely portrays William Nash as just a guy that's just falling apart.
That's the only way we win. That's the only way we all get laid. Adam Smith said, the best result comes.
All right, let me fast forward here. All right. So right here, this is basically where he shows he's not really too shy around women.
Careful.
Thank you.
What? They're gonna ask for my digits? What the hell? And so, hey, they say, hey, with women, hey, always leave them wanting more. There you go, mission accomplished there. William Nash. All right, so then we're gonna move on to, hey, Trevor, you're ready for a little 310 to Yuma.
I got a prisoner to go to Yuma.
All right. So Christian Bale, he is in 310 to Yuma. he's playing a guy that is being paid to get Russell Crowe's bad guy character on this train. And this train is called the 310 to Yuma, hence the name of the movie. Okay. And then Logan Lerman right there, that's Christian Bale's son in the movie. Okay. And Christian Bale, he plays a badass in this movie. Okay. Now his son doesn't think he is, because so Christian Bale, he's a father now. Okay. He used to be a badass, but he proves in this movie, along the course of this movie, that he is still a badass. But he knows he's a family man, right? And he's got a wife and kids to worry about now, so he can't be going out there and blasting fools like he used to back in the day. Well, his son doesn't appreciate that, right? He's like, I want my dad to be some badass. He wants to be like Clint Eastwood in the spaghetti westerns, right? But during the course of this movie, Logan Lerman here, he's realizing, man, my dad is a badass. What the hell, But right now, as you can tell, you'll see he basically almost accomplished. Christian Bale's almost accomplished his mission to get Russell Crowe's bad guy character on the train, the 310 to Yuma.
Well, you did it, Dan. No!
So that guy shooting Christian Bale, so that is part of Russell Crowe's posse that's been chasing after Christian Bale this whole time. I've been hot on their trail. And so here we are, and he's basically accomplished his mission. He's got Russell Crowe on the 310 to Yuma, and then right when he thinks, he's got it all done and he's going to be able to ride off into the sunset, then the main guy in Russell Crowe's posse shows up, and obviously you see what happened right there. So the reason that Russell Crowe is looking all distraught is you've got he's been developing an affinity for Christian Bale here in this movie. So he's learned to respect him and respect the fact where he's coming from, that he's a good man.
One-leg rancher. He's one tough son of a bitch.
And before I spoil any more here, so that's 310 to Yuma, and so you have an appreciation more for Russell Crowe in this movie if you watch it, because there's a lot of badass moments with him earlier in the movie. And it's just a different, kind of movie from Gladiator and A Beautiful Mind and all of which came out before this movie. But this was directed by actually the guy that's about to direct the next Indiana Jones movie that's coming out this summer. So with the Indiana Jones and the bowl of prunes or whatever the hell it's called with old ass Harrison Ford in it. But James Mangold, so is the name of the director. But he also directed Walk the Line with another Joaquin Phoenix movie as Johnny Cash. He directed Logan, the Wolverine movie, Copland with Sylvester Stallone. I mean, he's like just directed all kinds of good. Ford v Ferrari, another Christian Bale movie with being directed by James Mangold, obviously the same director of this movie. So it's all interconnected, man, all interconnected. But definitely check out 310 to Yuma. This one came out after all the other movies that I've been showing you here. So it's pretty good. So, and sorry for spoiling a little bit of this here for you. It's a cowboy movie. It's not like something you haven't seen before. Okay. People get killed, people get shot. Okay. So, but alrighty then. And then I think the last thing I'm going to show here, but before, let me check out some of these chats here. Ben Foster is legit in Yuma. Yeah, Ben Foster is the guy that just shot. Hey, Ian. Just shot Christian Bale right there. And Ben Foster's, he's a great character actor. You probably saw him in Lone Survivor, and then also Hell or High Water with Chris Pine. And he's been in a lot of great movies. He usually plays the bad guy, but he's a great actor. So, okay. So the last thing I'm going to show you here is a awkward interview of Russell Crowe from back in the Gladiator days that I thought was awkward. So I just wanted to share with you in the awkwardness.
Very different for you, especially the role being very different for you, especially the role being a physical role, quite physical role.
Why is that different?
As far as the last two roles you had, or three, I think I might be missing one here. Insider. LA Confidential.
Which was a very physical role.
So,
Mr. Alaska, where I played an ice hockey player. But it's good that you did your research, Mike, and thanks for coming. Anyway, do you have another question?
Sure. No, that's fine. What about the social?
Yeah. Little awkward there, dude. Russell Crowe had a good point. Maybe do your research or maybe choose your words a little bit more carefully. I think what that interviewer was going for was this Gladiator is the first movie where he's like his main function as a main character is like he's action oriented. He's a fighter. He's a warrior, that kind of thing. LA Confidential. He wasn't a fighter. He wasn't a warrior. He wasn't chopping people's heads off. Yeah, he was a cop, but he wasn't. He wasn't playing Martin Riggs in Lethal Weapon. Okay, he wasn't John McClane in Die Hard. Okay, it's kind of like more of a character study, mystery thriller kind of thing. And then in Mystery Alaska, again, he plays a hockey coach. Okay, so it's not sword and sandals. He doesn't have a shield and swords and killing people in a coliseum and that kind of thing. So I think that the interviewer could have worded that a little bit better so that Russell Crowe, understood him right there. But because of that, because he's, terrible at the English language, he, made himself look like a complete ass, complete boob in front of Russell Crowe. And that was back when Russell Crowe was more of an asshole there. If you watch Russell Crowe in interviews now, it's kind of like, your friendly old grandpa, right? Because I think he is a grandpa now. So he's like a fat, jolly old grandpa, like, oh, hey, thanks for having me. Oh, I'm, it's my honor to be here for you to interview me. All right. So he's a little bit less abrasive nowadays. If you've seen him like in his the Pope's Exorcist interviews that he's been doing lately for that movie. Okay, so that is the last segment that I will subject you all to for this Movies Merica spoiler warning episode as we wind down here. So, all right, so let me just remind you of tdpn.locals.com. Again, get to that website and check out the awesome content, okay? The blogs, the blogs, the articles, the music, the videos. Yeah, okay, that probably makes you not want to go to the website now. So yeah, if you go to tdpn.locals.com now, enter in promo code TDPN, and you get a 1 month free membership. Okay, so you're gonna be getting all this free stuff here, for a whole month, all right, and you're gonna be able to enjoy it there. You're taking us to the bank, okay? And then after that, it's just a measly $3 after that, okay? And so then let's go check out the other. I just want to refer you to some other things here. Yes, and of course I can't find it. Oh, there we go. Bear with us here, folks. All right, moviesmerica.com. Again, as I always say, well-oiled machine, okay? Apparently I can't push buttons very well, okay? All right. So yeah, visit www.moviesmerica.com, and that's where you can see the audio-only versions of Movies Merica, my spoiler-free review. But why deal with, what the audio only? What is this, 1927? Are you listening to the Grand Ole Opry on your radio? We got this thing called visual stimuli, okay? Pictures, all right? Color pictures, all right? So watch my Movies Merica episodes, okay, on YouTube and Rumble and Twitter, and you're going to be able to get your hands on them, multiple different ways, okay? And I'm also on the social medias. Okay, gotcha. Sorry, no MySpace. We're not on MySpace or Friendster. But we are on Twitter and Instagram under @MoviesMerica. Okay, so check me out there. I put my posts out there that are just the greatest posts you'll ever tweets, I should say, out there. Greatest tweets you'll ever see. Okay. And then also notifications of when new episodes are coming out, what they're all about, that kind of thing. So check me out at Movies Merica at Twitter and Instagram. And I'm also on Facebook as well. Okay. And then, let's, gotta go to solo.to/TillDeathPod Network and then @TillDeath Network. Okay. Thank you, Ian. So this is where you can find all the links that have to do with the Till Death Podcast Network. That way, you don't have to hunt and peck all over Al Gore's worldwide interweb to find all the excellent Till Death Podcast Network content for you to enjoy. Okay. And then we've got solo.to/TillDeathStudios. Okay. And that's where you can go to get in contact with Ian and have him do some fantastic artistry, some fantastic graphics work there for you. Some examples of that are like the background, the sweet background that you see behind me, the Movies Merica with the Black Adam cool lightning effect, and then the banner up at the top, and then just and I'm not doing it justice. You can do so much more other things. Oh, the intro that you saw at the beginning. That's another fantastic example of the artistry, the maestro that Ian is with everything that he does. So go to solo.to/TillDeathStudios if you are interested in having any of that work done there. Let's check here. Check out a live chat here. One last check here. The titties. Yeah. So you know what? I always like a good mention of the titties here. And you know what? Hey, you know what? Speaking of that here, let me get on down here. All right.
Oh, look at those babies.
Yeah, there we go. And in case you don't know where that's from the classic movie Bachelor Party. Okay, so the movie that Tom Hanks should have won an Oscar for. Okay, forget Saving Private Ryan or Forrest Gump or Philadelphia. I guess he didn't win the Oscar for Saving Private Ryan. Scratch that. Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. All right, but Bachelor Party, we all know that is his magnum opus. Okay, so I appreciate the reminder there, Trevor. All right, and then Ian, thanks for the shout out. My pleasure, my man. There you go. You deserve it. Okay, and so hey, let's go ahead and let's get to where we are going to wrap this bad boy up. Hey, Ian, you got me? All right. So with that, everybody, get out there, folks. Those movies aren't gonna watch themselves.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'll be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.